Greetings, blessings, and salutations. You are tuned in to Ross Mikey C Radio, and this is Dr. Ross Mikey C. We are in store for another great conversation, part of the podcast/interview series, which I am tentatively titling right now, What You Say with Jewel K. And we have...
I love that. I love that.
Producer, friend, family, Jewel, Stephanopoulos. What I always make fun of your name. On the line, yeah. Jewel K. Stephanopoulos. On the line to have another conversation about life and the many things that we experience within it. How you doing, Jewel K?
Very well, very well. Mikey C, Dr. Ross Mikey C.
Well, you don't know, because Jewel can use any name to address me, but those that don't know me like that gotta put some respect on my name.
Respect,
or respect, as we say, So there are two titles you can use, Doctor or Ross, but those that knew me before I had these titles refer to me as Mikey or Mikey C, which is, a name of affection.
Yes.
So, yes. So here we are with another conversation that we're adding to our series. And today's topic of discussion is relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So just a little backstory on how these topics of discussion come up. Me and Jewel will end up having a conversation. And then we start talking about something. And she's like, this would be great for our podcast. And so then we have to stop the conversation because Jewel don't want to keep talking because she wants everything to be fresh in the podcast. So
exactly.
As we're discussing and examining relationships today, full disclosure about our relationship, I totally blanked on the meeting. This is why.
It's okay.
This is why I put it in a calendar. Because you know me and the life that I live, attempting to obtain multiple streams of income so that I can keep my kids from going hungry. So I just jumped in the car and was getting ready to, doing my errands, going to get my car cleaned, putting gas in, getting ready to drive Uber. And then my calendar alerts was like, it's 5:30. Bink. Oh, chat with Jewel at 6. And I'm like, let me text Jewel. Jewel, we still on? I had already just accepted a ride. I'm pulling out of the car wash, like, I accepted a ride, and then like, oh, it's 5:30. Oh, dang, I got this. Jewel, we still on? She's like, yes, we are meeting in 27 minutes. And I'm like, hey, my thing is like, okay, what else is I supposed to do? Let me text Areba, my wife, who's at work, to be like, what time you finishing? Because I got a meeting at 6. And she's like, she don't reply. So I text her back again and like, okay, I got a meeting at 6. You need to be done after 7. So that I can come get you and time everything kind of accordingly. She's like, 7 o'clock is perfect. I said, after 7. I typed back and was like, I said, after 7. I said, I will attempt to wrap up my meeting around 7, and then I'll come get you afterwards. So I figured that was a good way to start our conversations about relationships because honesty is the best policy. At the end of the day, when it comes to building any type of relationship, it should be built on a foundation of honesty. Anything else is like building a castle on sand.
Absolutely. I mean, there's like, I love that we're actually starting this conversation with that. Number one, because I found out at a very young age that I'm a horrible liar because my mom, dude, my mom would know that I was lying over the phone, dog.
We had
I don't even know what my tell is. I don't know what my tell is. I just know that
was in my face. My mom eventually told me what my tell was. She was like, I always knew you were not lying because there was something about your nostrils and how they would flare every time you lied.
That's so funny. Like
she could read my poker face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how did Lucy you know,
She never told me my tell, dog. I'll never know. I'll never know. I'll never know. Damn it. That's not the only reason why I'm sad that she's not here, but it's just like, damn it. Damn it, wish she would have told me. And like in my dumbass didn't even think about asking what's the tell, mom, like
well, see, for
no.
me, Jewel.
But I was just like, you know what, I'm just never gonna do it. Like I just don't do it. I just don't do it.
I was a compulsive liar. I lied about everything. And hence, I think, you met me during my brutal honesty stage, when I'm like in college. But I was a compulsive liar as a kid. I lied about everything. It was mostly to my mom, and then to like teachers. Of course,
because you're kids. Yeah.
And I lied about dumb stuff. But at the same time, there was, I think around the time that I was 17, I just kind of hit a wall of my fuck-ups. And, watching my mother cry in my face was like, man, I need to find a way to be more upright and honest in my life because I really care about this lady. And I can't be treating her this way. So, it shifted everything. It was also about finding myself, though. Really about finding my path. I think when I found, what I was supposed to be doing in life and using movement as a practice as well as an ideology, I think that is what allowed me to be more honest with myself about who I was. And that really helped me to be more honest with everybody else around me. And when I realized that, I became very apologetic to all those people that I was not honest to. I remember calling ex-girlfriends and being like, yo, I treated you like shit. You know what I mean? Like, because I wasn't really honorable in those relationships because I wasn't doing the self-work. I was too busy caught up in how the people around me that I called my friends would perceive me in certain situations. Like everybody I grew up with was trying to be a player. So I was trying to do that. But in my heart,
right.
Too much love in my heart and like too much compassion for the people that I was related to really play them, even though I tried it. You know what I mean? Like, that's not, I'm honest now. Like, you know who I am. If you still want to mess with me, that's cool. You know what I mean? Like, so.
No, but I think that's important. And like, I mean, and one of the things, I mean, like a part of what I'd love to chat through, discuss today, like the overview of it all, but basically like they're in as far as, I mean, like they're all in different cultures, they're different descriptors, for love, but something that we
and multiple words in other cultures. I speak other languages. There are multiple words to express the depth of love. Like in Amharic, in Ethiopia's language, there's thicket, there's wood, there's there's all these different ways in which you can engage with the depth of what love is. In the West, we got one word.
Right. Well, and then so it's like so one of the things that I think that generally speaking, most people are aware of, if they're not aware of the so what I was going to jump into is like are the four loves in like as far as like if we're discussing like Greek themes, right? And which is something that permeates
which are
a lot of our like our poetry and
what are the four loves though, Drew?
So there's Storge, which that's more like just a general description.
Did you say Storge? Like Storge? Like Storge?
Storge, Storge. And so that's familial love. And then there's Philia, which is friend love, Eros, which most people know of, which is romantic love, and Agape, which is unconditional love. And really speaks to like.
I'm trying to write this down. Philia.
Oh, okay.
I'm a researcher, so I gotta make sure I go back and research this. We have Storge, Philia. What was the third one?
Okay, so Storge, Philia,
Philia. Eros. Okay, and then Agape. Agape is the only one of these that I have heard of in relationship to love. I mean, the other names I feel like I've heard them, but not necessarily knowing that they were like one of the four dimensions of how the Greeks break down love. Agape is a word that I recently became more familiar with because someone would send it as a tag in an email, and I was like, agape, I know that word means love, but it's like, no, it means the fullness or unconditional.
Unconditional love. It's like God. It's unconditional love and akin to God love, and like so it's just like your spirituality. Eros is romantic love, so it's like with a partner, and then philia is friendship, or siblings, and storge is specifically for family members or people who relate in familiar ways, that found themselves bonded by chance. So all of the things that we will discuss today, they will touch on all four of those aspects, but I just wanted to bring that to the forefront, as far as like, the descriptors.
Okay.
And how we can look at our lives and how, like, so you're talking about the impact that your dishonesty, like that impact on how it had on like the relationship with your mom, and then on the relationship, like that would be storge, and then and then also eros, your romantic relationships,
Yeah.
And so it's like, I mean, here's the thing. None of us are like, so just to go back to like the honesty part of it, right? There are white lies that are told, I hate to say even white lies because, all of the whatever.
The connotations.
Yeah, exactly. But
let's just call them little lies.
Little lies, like baby lies, right?
Baby lies.
Baby lies. And, so I'm not going to
black lie?
Right, that's exactly why I said I didn't want to use white lie, because I'm like, because then what is a black lie, But yeah, so anyway, getting into that, because I'm not going to, I'm talking about how I'm an honest person, but I also don't want to try to say that I am a person who is without fault, because that would be a lie. So, you know what I mean? But anyway, but the overarching theme of my relationships and interactions with people, especially because I found like I'm horrible at lying. I just stopped trying, and sometimes if for some people, it could be like, I think it was kind of what you were talking about too, is just sometimes it could come across as a bit too much because they're just like, holy shit, well, I don't want to know all that. Well, I mean, because to me, I don't want to walk away from a situation thinking that there was something that I could have said or I should have said or could have done, should have done. I don't want to live a life of coulda, woulda, shouldas, and so that's really like the place that I operate from. The other part of it is that,
before you go into the other part, hold that thought. Because I think that this is a good opportunity for us to play a particular song that jumped into my head as we were speaking about love and the idea of leading, to use bell hooks as an example, to lead with love, there's a song by Bob Marley and the Wailers back when they were just the Wailers, called Love. And so I'm going to play that song now, then we're going to come back and talk about the second part of your situation.
Let's do it.
All right.
Love, love. Let every little thing I do with love, and every little thing you say with love. Let every little thing you do with love, and every little thing you say with love. True, true love, love, sweet, sweet love, love, holding me this way with love. everybody got to be there with love. We gotta reach somewhere with love. And everybody got to be there with love. True, true love. Love. Sweet, sweet love. Love. True, true love. Love. Sweet, sweet love.
We are back. I love that song.
Yeah.
Everything you say is love. Oh, it's just such a beautiful melody. So back to you,
Absolutely.
Jewel K. Back, and this is leading me to the next song that I want to play. I already know. But continue with the second part of your understanding of why you chose to use honesty as a way to communicate and build relationships.
Well, I mean, there's something that my partner, my current partner says, and it's not necessarily about us, but like he speaks about this in general. And he always says 5 people can't tell the same lie. Right?
Yeah.
And
Go ahead.
And so, but like before we started dating, my thing was that, but it is coupled with this, is that I'd rather just get ahead of it. You know, if I made a mistake, I'd rather just and this is in my life, is like in work, in my career, you know, if I made a mistake, I'm just going to say, hey, like I fucked up. I apologize. Because versus like throwing my team under the bus or anything like that, because the amount of effort that you utilize to try and cover some shit up, like
exactly,
you know, and then
you can only use a lie to cover up a lie,
right? And it's like, and then you have to remember all the bullshit,
track. Yeah,
right?
Keep track.
You know, and then but my whole thing is that to me, for me, and as well as like in any type of relationship, whether it's business, if it's family, friends, whatever, my whole thing is this: you can learn from a mistake, but you can't trust a liar.
Yeah.
You know, because you can like, no, hold on, listen, hold on, let me finish the thought. Let me finish the thought. It's not to say that I know that you, like, you know, they're reformed liars, you know what I mean? But
I wasn't going to say that. I wasn't going to say that. Well, but I was just going to say that you can trust a liar to lie.
Well, yeah, there's that.
Trust should be unconditional. And when you know a person, you're going to trust them to be themselves.
For sure. Absolutely. Yeah. And so what I'm thinking about though, as far as like, I actually had someone in a professional setting, like yell at me and say, that's the problem with you, Joel. You have more integrity than anyone I know.
You don't know how often I get that statement, Jewel.
I was like, it took everything in me to like, not like, I was like, on the inside, I was dying laughing. I was like, so this is a problem? You know what I mean? Because
if you are being the mirror to people around you and they see how integral you are, they start to recognize how integral they're not. Abella says this to me. She's like, it's very hard to relate to you because you're so integral. Like speaking about her and the kids.
Yeah.
But one of my really good friends from Trinidad was telling another friend, was like, yo, Mikey is just so integral. And she's like, yes, that's why I love him. Like, I really do aim to lead with a certain level of integrity, which makes living in the spaces where I am challenging at times, working in an institution, as a university professor. Around people that don't understand integrity and equity the same way that I do. They think that they're being integral, but they fear me because of the level of integrity that I have. You know what I mean? Like,
you can't change your, like, here's the thing. Your character is your character, you know? And so that's really the point that I was getting to earlier too, is as far as like someone who if it doesn't, like, no, we're not talking about baby lies. We're talking about like, you're just a liar for the sake of lying, you know, like you don't want to deal with, you know, you just want to get over, or you want to get what you want to get, you know, blah, blah, blah. And like character is character, because like, I'd rather someone just tell me, hey, you know what? I fucked up. I made a mistake. you know, and then because that gives that person the opportunity to choose what they want to do with that information, you know?
Yeah, but there's a
Because-
certain level of honesty that a person has to have with themselves to understand I've made a mistake, and be able to say to the people around them, I made a mistake, and I, you know, apologize for how the mistake may have affected them. I think a lot of times people are lying because they're being selfish and not thinking about how the lie is going to affect other people.
Right.
You know?
Of course it's about self, you know, and like in that, but and we should care about ourselves. We should protect ourselves.
We should have a relationship with ourselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
and like
first and foremost.
For sure. And preserve self, but it also doesn't have to be at the behest or the downfall of others, expense of others, you know, because that's where the weird line comes in, you know. We're kind of getting into the weeds, so I want to get it back to like you know what I mean?
So, well, you know, this is all about relationships, though, because ultimately, like, we're talking about, first you have to
I don't know, this might be a two-parter. This might be a two-parter.
You know, Jewel, all of our conversations are 2-3-parters. Like, you have to allow the tangents to happen, because there's a lot of things that happen. You know, this is like, you can't be rigid with the process. But we're talking about this idea of trust and honesty and relationships. But all of this starts with the self. All of this starts with a connection that you have to yourself, and a recognition of what your role and your purpose is in life. And also a recognition of something greater than yourself, your relationship to your spirituality. You know what I mean? Like, and a lot of times we don't cultivate ourselves or do the self-work enough to be honest with ourselves. So if I can't be honest with myself, how am I going to be honest with anybody else that I'm relating to? It's the same thing like with being in a relationship with like a significant other. You're not honest with yourself. So how are you going to be honest and share your life with somebody that you're trying to build a life with? And you know, like that was the premise of what we were speaking about in the conversation that spawned us wanting to speak about this in a more podcast sort of setting. Is this notion of relationships and the complexity of relationships, because we were talking about specifically how some relationships shift and change throughout time. And like some people end up being mediators between certain types of relationships. Things that were a little bit closer in a time in the past are a little bit more distant now. And, you know, people that may have fallen out still may have a mutual friend. Those two people may not really engage with each other very often, but the mutual friend can engage with both of these people, you know, in full ways because of the honesty that they have with each other. You know what I mean? Maybe all 3 parties may not be as honest as you would like, but they can still engage and have relationships to some extent, even though, you know, certain parts of relationships have shifted and altered through time, you know?
For sure. And I don't know if it's all 3 parties or not, being honest.
Maybe someone within the 3 parties.
I'm fucking around, dude.
You know, but this is all very similar to the topic, because we're talking about relationships and perception, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and perceptions within a relationship.
Yes.
Because that's what, you know,
yes.
That's kind of the idea is the perception of how 2 people are engaging. And we I think before, you know, in our prior conversation to this one, we were talking about this perception of reality.
Yes. And that's what we were like. That's why I was like, okay, we got to stop. We have to stop talking now.
Right.
This is really good, and I want us to we gotta
You know, but I always tell people. I always say this to people: reality is perception.
Yes.
And 2 people can have the same experience and walk away from that experience with 2 different perceptions of that experience. Yes. And it's hard to say that one or the other is wrong, because that's their perception and what they took away from that particular experience. Now, where we can come to agreement is when we have the opportunity to sit down and communicate to each other our perceptions of that reality. When we don't communicate our perceptions of reality, then we make an assumption that, I think I wrote this down. In relationships, sometimes people don't see the reality of the other's perspective. You see and feel what you see and feel, but don't value the experience and feelings of the other. You invalidate their understanding of that experience. You devalue what they value.
Well, so with that, there are levels to this shit, right? There's levels.
Oh,
to
I
this
feel
shit.
like we need to play that song.
Yes.
There are levels to this
Please.
shit. That's a Meek Mill song. That's a Meek Mill song. I'm gonna play that soon and then come back. There's levels to this shit. I gotta play it. I gotta play it. We'll come back. We'll come back.
See, it's brackets, nigga. Them hoes ain't fucking you cause you ain't in that bracket, nigga. Learn life. It's levels to this shit, young boy. Hey, oh, you feel me? Yeah, little nigga, we don't rock the same clothes, fuck the same hoes, cause there's levels to the shit. Little nigga, we don't drive the same whips, we don't fuck the same chicks, cause there's levels to the shit. Little nigga, we don't get the same paper, you a motherfucking hater, go the levels to the shit. Little nigga, cause there's levels to the shit. Little nigga, cause there's levels to the shit. Yeah, oh Lord, cause there's levels to the shit. Levels to the shit, can't fuck my hoe, cause there's levels to this bitch. And I be rockin' powder like the devil in this bitch, in the burger bag like a gold medal to this bitch, Lord. And I'm happy as a get. Shining like a motherfucking bezel on my wrist. All my niggas mobbing, so we heavy in this bitch. 30 grand for the mule, that's a Chevy on my wrist. Woo! Cocaine, Mosang. Young nigga blowing up Kurt Cobain. Boom! Skating on them like I'm Lil Wayne. In this 458, I do the little lane. Room! Swerve on them, niggas got a nerve on them. Cause I heard the feds got him and he had them birds on him. But that nigga back home and them niggas roll with him. Call the case, what you think? Nigga fucking told on him, I ain't get my shit snatched yet. You ain't get your bitch back yet. One car, niggas ain't that tech. Blood drawn, headshot, nigga brains on step. Hot shit if you pop shit. And I don't want your opinion if you ain't got shit. We young niggas, we winning, I pull up drop shit. Mob shit with more keys than little nigga, we don't rock the same clothes, fuck the same hoes, cause there's levels to the shit. Little nigga, we don't drive the same whips, we don't fuck the same chicks, cause there's levels to the shit. Little nigga, we don't get the same paper, you a motherfucking hater, go the levels to the shit. Little nigga, cause there's levels to the shit. Little nigga, cause there's levels to the shit. Oh Lord, damn Tommy, you ain't got no job. DC, we the motherfucking mob. Young niggas getting straight to the money in the range with your honey. I pull up like I'm making power moves with Jan now. Them boys shooting, don't play them. Maybach, Rose, and them rolling down Collins, Cold Rug, hit the air with them. Compound niggas lie now. If it's the finals, I'm ballin' like a LeBron now. I call up Odyssey, tell them bitches to calm down. I treat that jet like a taxi the way I'm flying around. And I don't fuck with no niggas. If they don't fuck with my niggas. And I ain't fucking no bitches. If they fucking my niggas, we don't rock the same clothes, fuck the same hoes, cause there's levels to the shit. Little nigga, we don't drive the same whips, we don't fuck the same chicks, cause there's levels to the shit. Little nigga, we don't get the same paper, you a motherfucking hater, go the levels to the shit. Little nigga, cause there's levels to the shit. Little nigga, cause there's levels to the shit. Oh Lord, one time for the real niggas, two times for the bad bitches. Y'all suckers be coming home.
Everything in life can be described in a song, and sometimes when people say things, it makes me think of a song.
Mm-hmm.
So
absolutely.
I hope you didn't forget what we were talking about. Continue.
No, not at all. No. Because there's levels to this shit. Because let's circle back to, because there's a through line here. So let's circle back to, you know, a liar, what you can trust a liar to do is lie, right?
Right.
And so there can be like there's you know how there's like the saying of there's two sides in the truth, right?
Two sides to every coin.
Right, but there's two sides in the truth to every story, is what is the saying, right? Or more or less, I'm paraphrasing. But in any case, the point that I'm making here is that if you're in a situation where you're in a relationship with someone who is not familiar with honesty, is not friends with it, doesn't like it, is just like, hey, that's not my reality, but there's a truth there, you know, and so it's like that person.
There's a truth in their inability to be honest.
Exactly, and then there's a truth in there that a party chooses not to acknowledge, you know.
Yeah.
But it is acknowledged by the other person and other people who have bore witness, willingly or unwillingly, you know. And it's like the perspective of what a relationship then is different from when you're talking about it from a stance of like when there are two people who are acknowledging their respective actions in a relationship. So I don't feel like these two scenarios live on the same plane. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes total and complete sense. And, you know, again, it reminds me of songs.
Right. Yes. You know, so I think it's important to state that because I you know, and not to belabor it, but I think it's important to state that because there are people who get, and sometimes like these terms are overused, but sometimes they're apropos, you know, like they're gaslit or they are, or they're, you know, there's like love bombing, like all this other, like there's narcissism at play and all these other things, you know, that are kind of like running rampant, you know, and within like any sort of relationship, not solely eros, you know, right? And so because like I have friends who like they are not good with someone who's like in their family because there's like a hyper narcissist component to them and it's like kind of like fucked up their shit, you know, genuinely, you know, and they had to work their whole lives to like work around like what a mother or father has done, right? So it's just like there's levels to this shit is what I'm saying. So
definitely.
I don't want to like I just didn't want to like skate past like that there could be someone who's in a relationship or out of a relationship, whatever, who has been hyper dishonest, you know, and that doesn't fit into a regular relationships like breakdown of like.
But what is it? And this is so. What you're saying is leading me to the next part of the conversation, because when you say words like regular relationship. What do we define and understand regular to be? And
that's
again,
really interesting,
because what we're talking about, and again, you know, I always got a song related to it. We're talking about this idealism. We're talking about what, how we define a particular word, and again, that definition. A word is a symbol. So the definition of how we understand the word, even though we're reading the definition, we may interpret it slightly different than another person who's reading it. You know what I mean? So coming back to that sense of reality being a perception, but also this notion that we have of this is how I understand what a relationship is supposed to be. So I'm looking for people to relate to me in the way that I understand a relationship to be. But if they have a different understanding of how they relate to people, then they're going to run with their own understanding. So the idea, this leads me to that notion of expectation. And that comes with anything in life, especially with relationships, when it comes to a friendship, when it comes to a sibling, when it comes to a significant other, when it comes to a colleague. Most of us have this expectation of how these people are supposed to relate to us, based upon our perception of how we have created this box of what a friend is, of what a significant other is, of what a mentor is, of what a colleague is. But to kind of come and quote Maya Angelou for a minute, when a person shows you who they are, believe them. Believe
them the first time.
The first time. Because if I believe you the first time, then I'm going to accept you for who you are. And this is one of the challenges.
Or not.
And you, but
you get to make the decision. But you get to make the decision. Yes.
By me not accepting you, I'm still accepting you. I'm just accepting that I need to not have you in my life.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
So
exactly. And I believe in that. I believe in that. I wholeheartedly believe in that. And I think that there's something to be said about, okay, quick story. So this is a a storge love. You know what I mean? Love story. And I had a conversation with my mom years ago. And it was like after I moved out here, and like I think it was my first Christmas visiting back, and we were having a conversation about like familial stuff, you know, and it made me tear up, it made me cry. And my mom, we were sitting in the kitchen, you know, our kitchen, you know, and I said to her, you know, so I cried. She did not console me, and it really bothered me. And the next day, I sat her down and I shared with her, "Hey, this hurt my feelings that you did not hug me, you didn't console me when we were talking about this." And she said, "Oh my gosh," she said, "I am so sorry. I appreciate you for sharing this with me because that's not how I was brought up. That's not how I was raised. So I didn't know that you needed that." And what that taught me at newly 25 was, if my mother has known me my whole fucking life, doesn't know how I need to be loved. And it's not because my mother is not a loving mother. I mean, you've met her, you know her, you know, is like, is if she doesn't know that it's my job to teach people how I need to be loved. Exactly. So it's going back to the beginning of communication, right? And so it's like, so that informed my life strongly moving forward, because if I give people the information, they can do with it what they will. But but I'm taking onus of my part of saying, this is how I need to be loved.
Mm-hmm. And that's a great, again, that's about understanding who you are and knowing what is going to allow you to thrive. And there are two songs of mine that are coming into my mind right now. Intentions. One of my latest singles, which we're going to play.
Love.
Yeah. So, but this idea of good intentions, one direction on a two-way street. And we know that the age-old metaphor of good intentions, you know, can be the road to hell. You know what I mean? Like, the road to hell could be paved with good intentions is the phrase. Yeah. Yeah. So this idea of even your mother wasn't intending to hurt you. That's not Lucy's MO. She's not a hurtful person. But intention does not constitute impact.
Exactly.
And that's one of the things, that's why you came to her and you let her know how this was impacting you. And so she was able to see that her intentions did not impact you in the way that she wanted it to. So she's now able to redirect herself in a way to give you more of what you need, so that her intentions are very clear, you know, so that her intentions can also be felt in a way that's impactful and not in a way that's a positive impact and not necessarily a negative one. You know, so this idea of what we are intending to transmit oftentimes is not the way that it impacts the person that we're relating to. And we have to be sensitive enough to make sure that we take the time to see how we've impacted this person that we're relating to through our actions and through the conversation.
Absolutely.
Because, which leads me to the second song of mine, because expectation can be the mother of disappointment.
Yeah, you've been saying this for like, this is one of that's one of the conversations you and I have had for like many years. You've been like,
and that's why I have a song called Expectation that opens up with, if expectation leads to disappointment, then how can one rely on the government? That's another topic altogether.
Yes.
But I think that this is a good time to take a pause and play those two songs. First, Intention, which is one of my latest singles that was released this summer in 2024, July of 2024. I think July 2024.
Yes, love it.
We're going to play Intentions, followed by Expectation. And Expectation was actually on the EP that I did called Thin Line in 2024. three songs you hear on Rock Mikey C Radio throughout this. But we're going to play Intentions followed by Expectation before we come back with What to Say, Jill K.
Jill K.
A good vibration in the air, can you feel it? I call it I. It's time to cultivate your spirit. It's Jah create breath of life. Whoa. So inhale the freedom that's your own birthright. But this train is rocky, so hold on tight now. This race is not for the swift, so if you smell a drift, it's probably just flip time. Some medication, meditation. Who knows it feels iration. Always moving in a forward direction. Jah is our shield. A Hail Selassie, I protection. So just love the life you live. And give more love and you'll receive it. Gratitude is hard to abuse. So give thanks for Jah blessings revealing truth. Feel the frequency flowing mainstream. No competition, we know we're moving on the same team. All exists with a purpose, even as human beings. And there is growth under the surface, although it goes unseen. So don't you contemplate your self-worth. Become one with Mother Earth. We're all stars in the universe, and we perform the way we rehearse. So just love the life you live, and give more love and you'll receive it. Gratitude is hard to abuse, so give thanks for Jah blessings revealing truth. Good intentions, one direction on a two-way street. Two-way street. But you'll never reach nowhere if you don't move your feet. We got to eat, y'all. A good vibration in the air, can you feel it? I call it I. It's time to cultivate your spirit. It's Jah create breath of life. Whoa. So inhale the freedom that's your own birthright. But this train is rocky, so hold on tight now. This race is not for the swift, so if you smell a drift, it's probably just flip time. Some medication, meditation. Who knows it feels iration. Always moving in a forward direction. Jah is our shield. Hail Selassie, our protection. I know my king is real, so I never need to question. I just have one suggestion. That's to love the life you live, and give more love and you receive it. Gratitude is hard to abuse, so give thanks for Jah blessings revealing truth. And love the life you live, and give more love and you receive it. Gratitude is hard to abuse, so give thanks for Jah blessings revealing truth. Love the life you live, and give more If expectation leads to disappointment, How can one rely on a government in this battle to exist? We all come from one man, still we can't expose the truth without a consequence. No one owns nobody, so how somebody gonna abuse our right to choose? No one is perfection, and all life connects, so just love the life you live. Every day is a blessing with the rising, but it's hard to make the bed when someone lies in it. The truth is the truth, ain't no disguising it, no, no. If he without sin should cast a stone, then she will be the one to tell him, leave it alone.
Well, what's your purpose on this mission, in this balance to existing? Yet we think we're supposed to rule. Let's save our youth before the gun. We all know how the West was won, yet some only just begun to recognize the truth.
Our frustration stems from what we can't control. Just be patient, not complacent. Listen for the truth. Be mindful of your soul, and always question what you've been told. Stay present in use. Think how what we do can affect all humanity. 'Cause no matter what you show, there is always life to grow, just like the fruit from the wisdom tree. Every day is a blessing with the rising. We rise, but it's hard to make the bed when someone lies in it. They lie, they lie, they lie. The truth is the truth, ain't no disguising it, no, no. If he without sin should cast a stone, then she will be the one to tell him, leave it alone.
Find your purpose and your mission. Living, not just existing. Teach the youth. Put down them guns. We all know how the West was won. In the search for truth, some have only just begun.
Every day is a blessing with the rising. We rise, but it's hard to make the bed when someone lies in it. They lie, they lie, they lie. The truth is the truth, ain't no disguising it, no, no. If he without sin should cast a stone, then she will be the one to tell him, leave it alone.
We have got to do better. Creation is bound to win. No one is perfection. Still, we all deserve the blessing of a life we all live.
We are back. I love my producer, Kenny Allen. I got to give him a shout out because that song, Expectation, the way that it ended up on my EP was not how I initially had intended for the song. But working with a good producer, he brings the best out of you. So
Intentions and
had me speak.
expectations.
Yes, exactly. He had me speak certain parts of the song, which you hear in the song. And at the end, you hear me say, we have got to do better. Creation is bound to win. No one is perfection, yet we all deserve a blessing of the life that we want to live.
Yes.
I'm going to repeat that.
Say it louder for the people in the back.
We have got to do better. Creation is bound to win. No one is perfection, yet we all deserve the blessing of a life that we want to live. I'm not going to pump my chest about my profanity. It's
okay. It's okay. I'll do it for you. That's hella profound, bruh.
You know, with Leos, it's like either we gonna be stroking our own ego or somebody else got to stroke it for us.
Yeah, no, it's all good, man.
But we are in the midst of What You Say with Jewel K, discussing relationships, and we just came out of talking about intentions that a person has and how the intention doesn't constitute impact, and also how expectation of what we expect someone to be in a relationship can be the disappointment that we bring upon ourselves.
But like, I feel like all things are driven back to communication, right?
Yes. I don't disagree. Because
it's like when you communicate what it is, like how it is that you need to be loved, right? That's like, I think one of the biggest, and how someone needs to be loved isn't, like the summarization of that is not solely within the four, like the love languages. You know what I mean? That like, you know, that's a stepping stone for, you know, okay, you are trying to have onus over yourself and take responsibility for how you need to be loved. There's an extension of that, which is gratitude, you know, to your partner.
And I mentioned that in intentions. Gratitude is hard to abuse.
Yes, exactly. You know, and because it's so important, and it's in every like all of the four Greek loves, you know, that we discussed. I mean, it's something that I really try hard to make sure that I practice, like when I'm in my career and my personal relationships. I let people, I'm a big proponent of telling people what you appreciate about them, because I feel like more often than not, people are told what they don't like about them. And so it's just like, okay, if you tell someone what you like, then they'll do more of that, you know. And it's not a manipulative tactic. It's just like, I really genuinely appreciate XYZ, you know.
I don't have an issue. Reverse psychology.
but
I got mind control over Debo.
Debo, when he leaves, I'll be talking again.
When he leaves, right.
But you know, it's like, because people want, it's like, no matter how old we get, we want to feel good, you know. And so it's like, if you think about your child self, and if your teacher, your mother, your sibling, whomever is just like, you suck at this, you suck at that, you suck at this, you suck at that, then like, if someone's only telling you that you suck about, like, it's shit, then that's like all you are seeing is suck, you know.
Right.
And it takes even more energy to build yourself up, you know, versus when people, and I'm not talking about sycophants, you know what I mean? Like, I don't mean that, but just, you know, it's just like, but people need to know what they are appreciated for or about, you know. And so that's something that's really integral to in my relationships, like around like across the board. I mean,
I really think that's gonna be my takeaway from this conversation, is that I need to express more of what I actually appreciate about people. And every time we have these sorts of conversations, I think about my kids.
Of course, of course.
Like, in parenting, and you know, different ways I can approach trying to support these young people that I'm like trying to redirect with their lives, or guide them or support them in how they're going to be, and not
your
make
partner
them
as well. Your partner as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think about my wife, but I'm telling you, don't invalidate my feelings, Jewel.
Oh, I apologize. That was not my intention. However, that was the impact. But from what I said, I received that, and I apologize. See, look at that. Look how easy that was.
You know what I mean? Like,
do you receive my apology? Do you understand that I understand?
I know that was. I know your heart, and that's another thing about relationships. To me, when you know someone, you know their heart. So it's kind of hard to misinterpret their intentions when you know their heart. If a person doesn't have malice in their heart, if you view something that they did as malice, you may just be overthinking it. You know what I mean? Like, if a person is too ignorant to be spiteful and you think they're being spiteful, it could just be your perception of their action. You might feel it being spiteful, but again, like, we don't know if that was their intention, and they may not even see that they impacted us as being spiteful.
But that's why the communication is important,
Yes.
right? Because I knew that my mother loved me, but that's also what emboldened me, so to speak, to say to her, hey, this hurt my feelings.
Right.
Because I wasn't afraid that she wouldn't hear me. But if she'd responded to me and said, fuck your feelings, that could have negatively impacted the trajectory of my emotional growth through life. You know what I mean? Do you get what I'm saying? So it's still important for someone to even though you think, or that person may know that they didn't intend for XYZ to happen, they still need to address it and acknowledge the conversation that's being had.
You said a beautiful thing about you were emboldened because Lucy created that environment for you to feel that you could come to her and express your true feelings and she would hear it. You know what I mean? Like, and that's a beautiful thing. And that leads me to the this other part of what we were talking about before, about expectation and the reality of reciprocity in a relationship.
Yes.
Because that's a really slippery slope. You know, a lot of times people will get into a relationship and expectation will lead them to think that the relationship is supposed to be 50-50. You know what I mean? Like, show me a relationship that's 50-50.
Yeah.
Like,
because it's like,
that's an idealism. No, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It's an ideal. And I think that that's the challenge that many people have about how they relate to other people, is that idealism and this notion of, if I do this, then you should do the same for me. It doesn't always work that way because, you know, people don't treat you the way you want to be treated.
Well, but there's also like, okay, in the 4 Agreements, right? There's a book entitled The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And one of the 4 agreements is do your best. Underneath that, he expounds that statement with the understanding that your best is different from day to day, moment to moment. When you are feeling unwell, your best is different, you know, and unwell is like, there's like so many types of like unwells. You could be sick, physically, emotionally, like whatever, right?
Spiritually.
And so, and so it's like, so when you're doing your best in a relationship, like, it doesn't mean that it's your best when you're working out every day, you know, your career is top tier, or, you know, like all these other things are like flying high. You know, that's not the same as like if you have a cold, or you haven't worked in a few months, or you got fired from your job, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like shit, life is real, right? And so it's like, so doing your best is like, it relative. Doesn't mean, it's completely relative. And so that being stated, right, relative that being stated, that like being like, so that's why like 50-50 or 100-100, you know, like, it's not realistic, because there are times when your partner is like, you know, for instance, like I got sick, or like my partner got sick, you know, or something like that, you know, and so it's just like, okay, I'm doing XYZ, or he's doing XYZ, you know, and like one of the things he says to me all the time, which I really appreciate, is that there are no gender roles in our relationship, you know, so it's like, he's like, I'll do the dishes, you know, it's fine, you know, I'll clean up this, or I'll do, and the flip side is that I'll take care of XYZ, you know, because it's just about being there for the, like anybody in your life, whether it's familial, you know, philia, eros, like being there for someone, picking up when they need help. That is like, so sometimes it's 20.
And just to be clear to anybody who's listening, Jules' last name is Stephanos, but she ain't Greek.
Hey, don't say that to the people in the back, because it's like, you know, I get really irritated by people asking me, you know, where I'm from, or what that's the Ethiopian version of the name. Like, but that's another story altogether. It's another story altogether.
We're going to claim the African heritage, not the Greek heritage, even though she's speaking Greek words right now.
Everything leads to something else. Like we're all connected.
We all human.
Yes. But yeah, so anyway, I was saying all that to say that like it would behoove us to understand that there are levels to relationships and there are ebbs and flows. And so the expectation that someone's going to be on 100 forever is so erroneous, and you are setting yourself up for a fucking downfall. You know, that's a fallacy. Right. That's a fallacy. And you will never be happy because you were never like, because no person is 100 all the fucking time.
But imagine how many people live in relationships with that expectation, live in relationships with this idealism. And speaking about like, you know, marriages, this is, I think, lack of communication and understanding and truth is a big reason why relationships don't work. And sometimes a person may not even realize that they're not being honest with their significant other because they haven't figured out that they're not being honest with themselves.
Yes. No, I mean, it takes us back to the very beginning of what you said. That's exactly what you said in the very beginning, you know, because if you can't be honest with yourself, then how the fuck can you be honest with anyone else? It's like, here's my thing is that I am secure enough within myself to know my insecurities. Yeah. To me, that makes me a very secure person, you know, because I know what I'm insecure about and I know what I need to work on, you know, but someone who says they have zero insecurities, I'm like, I don't trust you. Like, that's a lie. You know what I mean? Like you're lying to yourself and lying to you've lied to yourself before you started lying to me, you know? And so it's like, because we all have something that we want to work on. All of us, because that is the nature of being a human being, you know? And so our first relationship is with ourselves and with whatever our faith is.
In relationship to other, like, because even when you think about like, but
only second is it that we have our relationship with anyone else, period. You know, and even when you decide to marry, to me, this is what I think. Our relationships, like this is the hierarchy to me. My relationship with myself and my spirituality, whatever that means to me, and that whatever that means to any other person, is first and foremost. Then comes my relationship with my partner. Then comes my relationship with, if I decide to have children, that, you know, and then family, you know, and then it ebbs, it moves up and moves down. If you don't have kids, and it's like, you know, then your family, blah, 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 blah. But if I'm deciding to partner with this person, like for real, not like, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend, you know what I mean? Or girlfriend, boyfriend, or they, whatever have you, you know, it's like my relationship with my spirituality has to be at the top, because that sets the stage for everything else. Because then I can communicate with my partner. Then I can love on my partner. Even when I'm not feeling loving, I can communicate, I'm not feeling well right now. I'm having a sad time. I'm bummed right now, or whatever, you know? But I can communicate that because I'm connected. Does that make sense?
Yes, you're not destroying yourself. And that makes me think of the song by Boogie Down Productions that came out in the 80s called Self-Destruction. You know what I mean? Like the old hip hop song. I'm gonna have to play that on our outro of this particular topic. You know, because self-destruction is, we don't realize how much we self-sabotage because we don't really know ourselves. You know, and so we end up self-sabotaging relationships that we're in.
And I think it's important to have people too, and it's like, whether it's as a therapist, you know, I'm a big proponent of therapy, you know, or spiritual leader, or, you know, or even like friends who don't let you just bullshit, you know, they call you to task about something, you know what I mean? Because again, like no sycophants, you know? And so it's like, it's really important, I think, for longevity in any sort of relationship, to have people or a person or whomever to just call you to task and not just let you and just not tell you that everything that you're saying or doing is right.
Yeah, to be honest. Like,
yeah, like call you out and just be like, you know what, that's some bullshit, dog. Like that was.
But they have to know you. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, because.
But you have to let people know you.
Yeah, and people only know what you show at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, so if you want somebody, like how you did with it, coming back to the conversation that you got with your mom, you had to show her what you needed, what you felt like you needed, because she didn't know. You communicated like, no, this is what I need.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you don't show somebody a certain level or depth or perception that you have, then how do you expect them to know?
Exactly. Yeah.
People are not, you know, maybe some people are mind readers, but I ain't met none as of yet. You know? So.
You know, it's like, because we can't take for granted that people will know what we mean to say, you know.
No. And I think, you know, that's one of the takeaways of this conversation is to be appreciative of the things that we like about people and to express that. But then also to, you know, what was the last thing you just said? Would you repeat what you just said, Julie?
Oh,
you don't even remember. That's what happens.
No.
Because we're vessels.
Because I'm just like, you know what I mean? This
is what happens when you're a vessel. You know, I'll be able to play it back, but you know,
I was gonna say just play it back.
This is and we know ourselves. We know that whatever messages that are coming to us are moving through us.
Yes.
Based upon our experience of living, but they're also beyond our own capacity of fully understanding. You know what I mean? It's stuff that we know that we are the channel that we're supposed to give this frequency and this vibration to the space that's around us. So, you know,
and I have so much gratitude too for like, because before we decide to like, before we close this out and we can decide whether or not like this is something that we need to like pick up at another time. But like, I think that there's something to be said about being appreciative of relationships, previous relationships, you know, especially like if you are no longer like if you no longer work with a certain person, or you're no longer friends with a certain person, or you're no longer in a relationship, emotional, like romantic relationship with a certain person, having gratitude for that, but having gratitude for the experience, but having gratitude for yourself, because you and I have discussed like the growth, right? But you and I have discussed that like you know you're like, oh, I'm friends with XYZ, and you know like people you've been, or you're still quasi possibly maybe communicate with, you know, like on a friend level with, you know, certain people, you know, that you don't necessarily like work with anymore, or you know, or what have you.
You learn where to. This is something that I say a lot. I don't ever really stop loving people. I just learn where to place the love in my life, because some love is not meant to be on the inner circle. Right. Some love is kind of toxic, so you got to keep it at bay and like dash away the fuckery, as this guy on my Instagram said one day. You know what I mean?
Say it again.
He said dash away the fuckery. You know what I mean? So he's like, you know, in life you're presented with all of these situations, and then sometimes, you know, you dealing with some fuckery and you just have to like block it out, dash away the fuckery. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
well, because my thing is that for certain situations, like, well, not even certain situations, for any situation, if it's business or if it's friendship or relationship, whatever, if I'm no longer communicating with someone who I had a previous whatever relationship with, I've gotten to a place of apathy about it. I don't wish anything, like
any ill will.
No, like I feel like I need to like, you know, like give the like the definition of what apathy means. You know, it's like I just do not care. I do not care. Like they like I know that existed, but I am not there. And so the love does not die, but it goes back into me. I
You
think
don't
me.
expense
I think me.
any energy. Yeah.
No,
You don't
I think
expense
me
the energy
because I think me because I thank me for I give gratitude to me for having the courage
growth.
and to experience the thing and I thank me and I have gratitude for me for growing through that process. It's like you don't it's like you're like, okay, you have a PhD, right? You don't like on your degree
for those that don't know. The PhD stands for player haters degree.
on your certificate, it doesn't list all of the fucking teachers you've had to date.
Nope.
No, it's thanking you because you learned all the fucking things, right?
Yeah.
So
True.
thank you. So that's what I'm saying.
My name is the only name on the certificate. My name and then the president of the university. Not even my advisor. Like, yeah.
No.
So why the president name on there? It's about me.
Because somebody had to just say like, okay, like it's just because somebody had to say like
we acknowledge
it was this university.
It's always some white man though.
Okay, that's a different conversation. The point that I'm making is that the reason why I don't have an issue with, or rather, I am super cool on not continuing communicating with certain people is because, okay, if that's not if the actions were not that of a friend, why, like in any way, shape, or form, right? Why would I do that? Because we're going back to Maya Angelou.
Yeah.
It was like if someone shows you who they are, believe them, right? So then I'm not honoring me. You know, I can still have gratitude, and I do have gratitude. I have gratitude for the experiences that I was courageous enough to go down whatever path, you know. And I have gratitude for myself for having growth and learning from and moving on from. And I love myself. And I am able to use that love energy for new relationships, of all kinds, you know, into my fucking plant that I can't believe it, dude. Like I'm almost 3 years into this.
You're growing plant.
Dude, it's amazing.
You should see my little mini jungle in my living room.
I can't wait to see it. I cannot wait to see it. I don't have a mini jungle. I have one monstera that has, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It has like 11 fronds right now. In like 3 years, I've never grown a plant in my life. You know what I mean? I am able to give love to that plant. Do you see what I'm saying?
I get it.
Like my PhD
and it receives
is me. That PhD that you got, that's all you. And there were so many teachers. Like, do you give gratitude? Did your kindergarten teacher?
It is.
Like you have gratitude for your kindergarten teacher, but it's you. You know,
it's me. But I also acknowledge and give gratitude of those that came before me. I know that I am nothing without those. Like, I stand on the shoulders of everybody that paved the way for me to get to where I am. So yes, acknowledging that it is me that did the work, but not without the support of those others. You know, and that because with that it's like your mom should be on that. Your mom should it's like my mom it's like, so I give gratitude all day, every day for every single person who has ever come into my life. Like, no lie, when I wake up in the morning, I give gratitude. Even I actually give gratitude for my kindergarten teacher, my first grade teacher. You know what I mean? Like, I give gratitude for different relationships, like business wise, like everything. I give major gratitude. Gratitude is hard to abuse.
It is. So also, I give thanks for me.
Exactly. I mean, if you don't love you, who else gonna love you? If you don't have a relationship with yourself, how someone else gonna relate to you?
RuPaul said it. If you don't love yourself, how the hell you gonna love somebody else? Can I get an amen?
Yeah. And coming from amen, they lie. And what was the word that I just learned in Zulu? Tokozani. Tokozani means is like amen, but it also means like may the ancestors allow it to be so.
And so it is. And so it is.
And so it shall be. So Jewel K, this has been a great conversation. As always, with What You Say. We're here on Rock Mike and C Radio, and this is the podcast interview portion And this segment in series is called Watcha Say with Jewel K. And I always love having conversations with my sister friend who is just living and vibrating on a very high frequency and changing and shifting the image of the world, being the living example of the change she wants to see in the world that we live in. So I'm grateful to have you as a friend and to be able to have these open and honest conversations, and hope that
Me too,
it can
man.
guide those who are looking for something within themselves. You know?
And and I really, really appreciate you. And you are also like on my list of like people I appreciate and give gratitude for every day. And I have always been receptive to your honesty, and I think it's a part of what has truly bonded us together for life. I mean, dude, it's been like decades, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
weird, but
you're
yeah.
just such, I know it's wild. That's so wild to say, but no, like who and how you are has always been consistent. And I am really grateful that our previous lives and the universe and God and everyone is just like, our ancestors brought us to each other, you know,
Yeah.
and made it so that we would continue to build upon our lives independent of and with each other. So
Yeah.
I'm always grateful for time and space with you.
Oh,
Love you, pal.
Okay, love you too, sis. Until the next time, I'm gonna close it out with Self-Destruction by Boogie Down Productions, which features a whole slew of artists from that time and that era. And then this song, a couple of songs by Midnight. One called Frequency, because we vibrate on a very similar frequency, which is why we're connected the way that we are. And then the last one is called You Don't Know. It's unfortunate for those that don't know us.
That don't.
You know, they're missing out.
Super missing out.
So
All right,
until the
sweetheart.
next time, besos and agape.
Absolutely. Agape.
Yeah. Love you, sis. We'll talk soon.
Love you. Bye.
All right.
We all agree tonight, all of the speakers have agreed that America has a very serious problem. Not only does America have a very serious problem, but our people have a very serious problem. America's problem is self-destruction. You're headed for self-destruction. Self-destruction. You're headed for self-destruction. Self-destruction. You're headed for self-destruction. Self-destruction. You're headed for self-destruction.
Well, today's topic, self-destruction. It really ain't the rap audience that's bugging. It's one or two suckers, ignorant brothers, trying to rob and steal from one another. You get caught in the mid. So to crush that stereotype, here's what we did. We got ourselves together so that you could unite and fight for what's right. Not negative cause. The way we live is positive. We don't kill our relatives.
Pop, 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 when it's shot, who's to blame? Headlines, front page, and raps the name. MC Delight here to state the bottom line. The black on black crime was way before our time.
Took a brother's life with a knife as his wife cried, cause he died of trifling death when he left his very last breath. Was I slept, so watch your step. Back in the 60s, our brothers and sisters were hanged. How could you gang bang? I never ever ran from the Ku Klux Klan, and I shouldn't have to run from a black man, cause that's
self-destruction. You're headed for self-destruction. Self-destruction. You're headed for self-destruction. Self-destruction. You're headed for self-destruction. Self-destruction.
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro.
Funky fresh dressed to impress, ready to party. Money in your pocket, dying to move your body. To get inside, you pay the whole $10. Scotch tape with a razor blade taped to your collar. Leave the guns in the crack and the knives alone. MC lights on the microphone, bum rushing and pushing, snatching and taxing. I cram to understand why brothers don't be maxing. There's only one disco, they'll close one more. You ain't guarding the door, so what you got a gun for? Do you rob the rich and give to the poor? Yo, daddy-o, school him some more.
Straight from the mouth
why?
and daddy-o.
Do a
crime, end up in jail and gotta go. Cause you could do crime and get paid today, and tomorrow you're behind bars in the worst way. Far from your family, cause you're locked away. Now tell me, do you really think crime pays? Scheming on taking what your brother had?
You little sucker.
You talking all that jazz.
It's time to stand together in a unity. Cause if not, then we're soon to be self-destroyed, unemployed. The rap race will be lost without a trace or a clue, but what to do is stop the violence and kick the science down the road that we call eternity, where knowledge is formed and you learn to be self-sufficient, independent. To teach to each is what rap intended, but society wants to invade. So do not walk this path that they laid. It's
self-destruction. You're headed for self-destruction. Self-destruction.
D-Nice, break it down like this.
Children growing, women producing, men go working, some do stealing. Self-destruction. You're headed for self-destruction. Self-destruction.
Well, steady. Frequency, yeah. False food up on the frequency. Then come fi give me false food up on the frequency. Attacking our mind with the frequency. Them come fi give me false food up on the frequency. Ancient of days, and it's the one who gathered the momentum. Stone cold fireball, stone cold in defense of the most high word to Jah. Guard the earth as she feed the reward. Them chop down the trees to kill us the youths and this guard. Chad if it's a chat, what's the economics? In a truth and rights, what's the fascination with them bright city lights? Oh yeah, oh yeah. I don't think you know me. I from a mountain of plateau, all of Zion is a vibe. What is your wicked story? What is your wicked story? Hey no, well it fit, please, yeah. One make them back up for me temper. Rock it like a launch you back past arena. What a ignorant of danger gun pose imposter, yeah. Well, who have you known, sir? Jah provide and alone make you still the bound, yeah. Use James Brown good footstep out. You want the boss about a champagne car. You want the boss about a champagne car. Yeah, yeah. The back Babylon away. Simply reserve the right, keep even the cold. The whole back of bush and the ship shape and hold it tight. Too negative
sign is a equal sign. Multiply double negative, you get a positive. Mostly all for sure all the time. Them have the massive under them mathematics. Spellbound and I play with their mind. Boost up your ego and bamboozle them blind. Ah yeah. But again, like I said, I don't think you know me. Aye, from a mountain or plateau, all of Zion is up high. What is your ribcage story? Your ribcage story. If it please, what make them not back up your arm from me temper? Rocket a launch you back past gorilla. What a ignorant of danger gun pose imposter. Why who have you known, sir? Jah Providence alone, you sit down, Jah. Use James Brown gold footstep up. You only buck up out a champagne car. Mouth can talk. Ah, yeah. Agent of death. And it's the one who gathered the momentum. Stone cold fireball. Stone cold in defense of the most high word to Jah God. Guard the earth as she feed the reward. Them chop the trees down to kill us, the use and discard. Chad if it's a chad. What's the economics in not truth and rights? What's the fascination with your fascists? What is the fascination with your bright city lights? Yeah, you don't know me. Hey, I don't think you know me. I don't think you know me. From a mountain or plateau, all of Zion is a high. Ribcage story. Hey, your ribcage story. Hey, if it please ya, what make them not back up your arm for me temper? Rocket a launch you back past gorilla. What a ignorant of danger gun pose imposter, yeah. Well, who have you known, sir? Jah Providence alone, you still there out, yeah. Use James Brown footstep up. You only buck up out a champagne car. I prefer the clouds and the rains of the dark, right? What kind of people, what kind of skylark? I don't think you know me. I from a mountain of plateau, all of Zion is a high. The ribcage story. What is your ribcage story? Panic about some ribcage. When the true vicious zone underlies, the colors out of eye, mixing up you have to survive. Black woman is the highest chest piece, no lie. Frigid in the mountains without no wife, aggressors of our life, aggressions of them life. Never up the boat of the sea, Neptune spit out upon the galaxy. Live a yacht and span. I don't think you know me. I'm from a mountain or plateau, all of Zion is a high. Your ribcage story. Hey, your ribcage story. Hey, if it please ya, what make them not back up your arm for me temper? Rocket a launch you back past gorilla. What a ignorant of danger gun pose imposter, yeah.